Ben Worst and volunteers with the Conserve Wildlife Foundation of New Jersey are erecting an Osprey platform along an inlet near Atlantic City. This has been a tough year for New Jersey's Atlantic Coast osprey population. The winds from a nor'easter stalled along the coast in June and hindered the osprey from gathering menhaden. The fish is their main food source.
Yeah, in June is typically the nestling period for ospreys, so that's where they're, trying to provide food for themselves and their young. And when the nor'easter hit in June, it made it really hard for them to, really sustain their brood of young, just because, the weather impacted the availability of prey and, pretty much, impacted their ability to feed their young and care for them through the food that they provide for them.
Worst monitors the coastal osprey nests and says although no final numbers are complete, the reproduction rate for the birds declined this year.
You don't really have, numbers just yet to quantify the overall productivity, but we know that overall it's going to be, pretty reduced and below last year's productivity, which is the worst we've seen in the last 20 years.
Osprey populations had been rebounding after DDT was banned and other conservation steps were adopted. They're still a threatened species in New Jersey. Worst says the focus will now be to determine the long-term impacts of 2 years of below normal reproduction.
Because we don't really know the long-term effects of weather like this, which, in my mind, looks to be an effect of climate change, where we're seeing, a nor'easter every year in the spring or summer months, over a prolonged period of time, which seems to be affecting the availability of prey, and that main prey species is Atlantic menhaden.
The osprey found along the Delaware River and other areas have migrated to areas such as Florida, the Caribbean, and northern South America for the winter. Worst says tropical storms late in the summer also damaged some nests along the coast. He says there's no indication extreme weather has had an impact on the Delaware River and Bay osprey populations. The birds have a more diverse fish diet.
They pretty much, fish for whatever they can find in more, freshwater areas of the state. Of course, they're foraging more on freshwater fish, whether it be catfish, bass, with regard, largemouth bass, smallmouth bass, trout even.
This past summer, osprey nests along the Delaware River have been spotted in several industrial areas, such as on top of a construction crane. Worst says protecting buffer regions along streams is also important because the areas provide important perching and nesting habitat, and that minimizing human disturbance in these areas will benefit ospreys.
Whether a nest site is successful depending on the structure that they nest on, whether it be a crane, which is something we don't want to see them nest on, or a utility pole, which we also don't want to see them nest on. And it really takes the perfect recipe for them to find a great site to nest on.
If the public spots a nest, they can participate in helping monitor the population by logging on to the Osprey Watch website and reporting the nest location.
Because, ospreys play an important role in New Jersey as an indicator species. So they indicate the health of our coastal waters, and ensuring that they are doing well is something we want to continue to see as their population, remains stable in the state.